and you export them. And you pretend that they are in fact normal scrap bars, which carry tax. You export them, which doesn't carry tax, and then you claim a refund, 15% on the value. Obviously, gold is very valuable. If you're exporting a ton of gold, you make an obscene amount of money.
I should imagine a part of this operation, we do know that there are some big companies involved here. Undoubtedly, you're also having people right at the top dogs, right down the value chain to the Zamazamas, all involved in this illegal operation. That's the one part of the question. And then the second part being, how are these people going to be, are they going to be prosecuted? And is there an opportunity to actually recoup the monies? That's the big question, isn't it? Because if that's what the Revenue Service has lost up to now, guess who's going to be feeling the brunt? You and I, ordinary taxpayers.
It's a very large amount of lost taxes which had to be made up some way or the other. It's so much money that you could even see it in the statistics of how much revenue SARS brings in. So in terms of who is involved, it's a very large kind of network of people. But as you said, there are a couple of very large players. So the amount of people who export the gold is sort of the top of the chain. That's a handful of people. And the source of the gold, which is Krugerrand, ultimately is just one person, which is Rand Refinery, which is legally the only place in South Africa you can make Krugerrand. And so the question is still kind of hanging in the air. How many new Krugerrands are getting bought and produced without anyone raising a red flag? I mean, to me, that's still the interesting project. In terms of recouping money, SARS hardly ever claims criminal prosecution. It tries to get its tax back. So it started doing that. It's raising these huge assessments to effectively claim back money from taxpayers, and it's kind of frozen people's refunds requests, which is the way these guys have been making the money. So with the guys we were looking at, they just for the course of 1 year's tax owe 7 billion rand. So that's a lot of money for one player.
What about the Hawks? And do you believe that the NPA is going to get involved here as well to prosecute those big players? Because that's where it starts. The rot does start from the top, does it not? And is this investigation ongoing?
I'm pretty sure it's been going on for a while. I'm sure the Hawks are involved. In fact, I do know they are involved quietly in the background. And the whole sector is kind of, I think, aware of that. So, I mean, whether that actually comes to prosecution or not, we hold our breath. But it's certainly being looked at.
It's really very obscene when we talk about these amounts of money and knowing what exactly is happening in our country. And I know that I sound like a stuck record, but every opportunity I get to talk about the high unemployment levels in our country, the corruption and the rot in all spheres of government and large corporates, and the schooling system, the health system, etc. One can't but you're sick when you see this obscenity going on around you. That's just a statement on my part. I'm just venting here, Dewald. But in terms of amaBhungane, has your investigation, has your story been concluded, or is this also an ongoing story that will be covered in time to come?
There will be a follow-up rather imminently, actually. There's a lot more to be said about this. I said on your earlier event, I agree, and I think what's important about these kind of stories is that it shows how private sector companies are every bit as bad as the government that people love to complain about.
In fact, Dewald, I think we need to put the blame directly at the doors of corporates and other small businesses, because if I kind of wonder if they don't almost entrap or lure the politicians to favor them as far as business deals, contracts, etc. is concerned. So they equally corrupt, and they too should be brought to account. Now, over time, amaBhungane has broken major stories, major corruption issues, etc. Let's just kind of go back slightly. Wait, let me stay on this path. And how has this hurt our gold industry, our mining industry? Dewald, over to you.
You cut out a little bit there, but I got
okay.
So in terms of how this interfaces with the actual formal, the large gold mine, I mean, I don't think they're particularly bothered, because what this does, it allows illicit gold into the kind of legitimate market where it can be sold, but it's not like that's affecting their ability to sell their gold. What is, I think, it should be a concern to them is, again, the Rand refinery, the large national refinery that creates the coins which are the underpinning of the whole scam. That thing is owned by Anglo Gold, by Harmony Gold, by Goldfield. It's owned by the major gold company. So it's their company that allegedly is, a key cog in the whole thing.
Oh. Okay, so just the story just gets uglier and dirtier, does it not?
Yeah, I think it's probably a great deal worse.
Okay, I think we're going to follow this. We're going to see what happens here. Is there going to be a large outcry from the South African public, or is just this one of the other exposés that causes a bit of fizz and then dies down? Really, we in a very sad situation as far as South Africa is concerned, with all the rot and all the corruption. But undoubtedly, we here at Salam Media will keep our eye open on this and other such stories. So we thank you for your time, Dewald van Rensburg, a reporter at amaBhungane Center for Investigative Journalism. Thank you for your hard work and your tenacity as far as these issues are concerned.
Thank you.
It is exactly 9:55 a.m. News and Views right here on Salam Media. We'll be back with you in a minute or two to talk about the halal trade fair that is going to be taking place in the middle of next month. So do stay with us.
Africa, as the crisis in Palestine continues.